Hey gamers, OldSKoolFool here from Video Game Central and the Gamer's Voice. And of course, if you guys haven't tuned in all month long, we've been showcasing nothing but fighting games for the month of February, because February is fighting game month. And it just so happens a lot of people have been asking, well, what about the old fighting games? What's Street Fighter 4? I mean, people have been asking Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4, but what are the roots of Street Fighter? What are the roots of fighting games? Well, here at the Video Game Central and the Gamer's Voice, we're going to give you a little overview of the grandfather of fighting titles, Street Fighter Origins. Now, no, it's not another rehash or another add-on to Super Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, Street Fighter 2 Super Special Championship Edition, Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition, Super Street Fighter 2... Okay, now you got the hint. Street Fighter 2. I mean, where did it come from? Did it just start with a 2? No, actually they didn't. They started with this. Yes, this. Ryu, or Ryu, or Ryu, or whatever you'd like to pronounce it. It's Street Fighter, aptly named Fighting Street in Japan. And what is this? This is a one-on-one fighter. This is not known previously to games like the Data East's Karate Champ, which was a really early fighter, but really didn't refine the fighting game genre as much as this game did. In fact, this game did nothing. This didn't refine anything. This was the worst game probably out in the arcades at the time. And I actually remember playing this arcade title years and years ago, where Fighting Street, or the original Street Fighter, you can only pick as Ryu, or you can, actually if you play two players, you can also play as Ken. The second player would play as Ken. So there was no Ryu versus Ryu, it was just Ryu or Ken, or you just play as Ryu. Literally, this game graphics were subpar for its time. Almost impossible to control. I mean, look at the way this game plays. Look at that. I mean, you kick, there's no hitboxes, things go through you. Special moves are almost impossible, non-existent to pull off. I mean, I would love to see somebody play this game professionally. I mean, this game is just ridiculous. This Fighting Street or Street Fighter, in fact, not only that, but they actually had the concept of, they used to have pressure-sensitive buttons in the arcade, where if you smack down the controller hard enough, it would, do a harder move. So you had like these two big pads that you just kind of beat the ever-loving shit out of, and would hope that, you actually won. Great for stress relief, not great for enjoying yourself, because by the time you walked away from the machine, you felt like a total loser. So overall, Street Fighter, or the original Fighting Street, did not really depict the genre the way it is today. I would rather have played like Karate Champ or something like that, but anyways, let's go back, let's flash forward to Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Now, what is the Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition? I mean, where did the Street Fighter 2 come from? Well, if you guys aren't aware, Street Fighter 2, of course, is the classic remake of Street Fighter, where they've actually enhanced the graphics, they've made advancements in gameplay. I mean, it was a fun game to play. And if you pretty much went anywhere from a 7-Eleven to a deli or the back of a video store, it was impossible not to see a Street Fighter machine. Like, literally, anywhere you go, you were going to see a Street Fighter machine. So, they released Street Fighter. Now, the only problem with Street Fighter was that everybody wanted to play the 4 characters. They played the 4 boss guys. The boss guys were never playable. Even on the home versions, the boss guys weren't playable. In fact, I remember buying a Game Genie for Super Nintendo to play as the 4 boss characters, because this is way before the Championship Edition came out. I was just like in love with the last 4 characters, and I never understood why you couldn't play as the last 4 characters. No unlockables, no way to do it. You just had to hack the game and stand in the midair and then hopefully do something with the Game Genie that never would ever work, would freeze the game, or whatever. I mean, there was just so many bugs with the original Street Fighter games, ridiculous. I remember even another crazy thing where you'd actually put the character in handcuffs. People would like sit there and be like, "Oh, congratulations! Watch me do this and watch me freeze the game." I mean, literally, Street Fighter 2 was bugged, but it was such a great game and such an improvement over the original that it was embraced by the entire fighting game genre, which is what it eventually became. It became a genre all in itself. So Street Fighter 2 was the forefather of fighting games. And of course, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition was the add-on. Now, with all these add-ons to Street Fighter 2, one is to wonder, well, were they all warranted? Was it really required? Well, let's take a look. Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Pretty much the exact same game as Street Fighter 2. The 4 World Warriors were now unlockable. Of course, which was M. Bison, or Mike Bison, from the original. No, not that guy. But pretty much they changed the 4 names for the original from Balrog and Vega and Bison to kind of mix up everything here in America, keep people confused, and of course stray away from this guy from suing anybody. Good old Iron Mike was looking to make as much money as possible for all his extracurricular activities. So they changed it to M. Bison, and not even close to a likeness. They gave him that to that general guy from Shadowloo. Now, of course, this is a great entertainment. This is Street Fighter. It's just the greatest entertainment known to man when it comes to fighting games. But of course, the sequels are always there. Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition was the upgrade to Street Fighter 2. Now, Championship Edition happened to be the Super Nintendo version. For a version for Super Nintendo, it was fairly impressive. The graphics were very close to the arcade. The sound was on point. I mean, it was a great game. I mean, okay, it had its little quirks here and there, but the ability to actually speed up the game, because it obviously was a little slow previously in the original Street Fighter, you'd be able to speed things up. There was the addition of the 4 characters. Some of the game's characters were toned down, some of them were toned up. I mean, there's a lot of balancing going on. So overall, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, or that's what it was called in the arcades, the home version for Super Nintendo was called Hyper Fighting, Championship Edition Hyper Fighting, and of course the Special Championship Edition, which was not special at all, for the Genesis. And mind you, I'm a Genesis fan, but this game was disgusting for Genesis. I mean, just like gross. Made me want to vomit this. Just everything from the scratchy sound, like somebody like burned the larynx out of all the announcers, and Bison was like double his size, and just everything looked like they just tried to like squeeze it in real tight, you know, into a nice 8 meg cartridge. Just went nowhere. Total garbage. But overall, the Super Nintendo did a really nice job. You know, you could do shadow matches where you could play up against the same player. You know, an overall good game. I mean, I don't need to tell you guys how to play Street Fighter. Short, medium, fierce, short, medium, fierce. I mean, in this game, all you got was a 3-hit combo. That's it. 3-hit combo. So you're going down for the count in like 3 hits, a dizzy, and it's over. But it was such a tiptoe game and put you in like the seat, you know, just kind of held you in the seat of your pants. I was playing this game like 20 minutes ago and literally like found myself like screaming and yelling at the TV set like for the close matches. And of course, let's not forget the addition of Chun-Li's Fireball. Now, kind of looks like a floating Mr. Softy ice cream head, moving at the speed of the real Softy after I eat too much Taco Bell. You know, just weird like updates like that for Championship Edition. So next, what's up on the plate? Let's take a look and overview at Super Street Fighter 2. I say that 3 times fast. Now, Super Street Fighter 2 is another upgrade with similar stages and 4 new characters added to the roster. Of course, you get more stereotypical characters like the Bruce Lee wannabe, like Fei Long. You get the grimacing Caribbean Morocco player, and you get the European chick that looks like a little undernourished, and of course the Native American wearing the Indian feathers, because you can't be Native American and not wear Indian feathers. So, I mean, I'm Native American, and I haven't left my house with my Indian feathers yet. So. But you get those characters, and of course, you get the extra flamboyant voiceovers. I mean, I don't know what they decided to do. Instead of just making a Super Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition from the back in the day, they decided to revamp the whole sound system. The punches and kicks sound like smacks. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I didn't understand where they were going with this. I mean, yeah, some of the things were drawn a slightly more detail, but the bone crunching sound and like the moves didn't take off as much damage, and I don't know. I feel like they were just really milking it with Super Street Fighter 2. Even the stance on T-Hawk. I mean, look at the stance on T-Hawk. I mean, it's great. It almost looks as if he's like standing around, like dancing, waiting for in the middle of a powwow, waiting for the rain to come. I mean, his stance alone is just so stereotypical. It's great. It's so funny. But I mean, overall, as you can see, there was just so many renditions of Street Fighter. Originally, from what it started from that to this is phenomenal to where they come. So as the saga continues, a new dawn of Street Fighter has come to the plate, with nothing but a bunch of copycats to leave in their dust. But you know what? They say that copying is the finest form of flattery. So thank you, Capcom. Thank you, Street Fighter players, because once again, the Street Fighter legacy continues, as we will, sure you can, see you guys on the game playing field. I'm OldSKoolFool, and thanks for watching for my overview of one of the greatest fighting games ever known to man. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.